Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let's look at how to deal with some unusual page numbering situations in Pages. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So sometimes you have to go beyond simple page numbering in Pages, having the first page as 1, second page as 2, and so on. Sometimes you need to skip pages. Sometimes you need to have pages that don't have the page number shown and others that do show it. Let's look at a whole bunch of different page numbering situations and how to deal with them. Now it's important to realize that there are two different modes in Pages. There's word processing mode and page layout mode. Word processing mode is the typical mode that you use. Most of the templates start off this way, and when you write it goes from page to page to page. Just one long flowing body text. And this is different than page layout mode, which you would switch to in a few different ways. One of which is to go to File and then Convert to Page Layout. If that says Convert to Page Layout, that means you're in word processing mode. If it says Convert to Word Processing, that means you're currently in page layout mode. So let's look at word processing mode first. Now you've got a header here at the top that you only see when you move your pointer over it, and a footer at the bottom. And you could add page numbers to either one of those. To make it simpler to see, I'm going to add it here to the header. And let's say I'm going to put it right here in the middle. I'm going to click there, and conveniently you get this little button here that says Insert Page Number. You could use that, but you could also go to Insert Page Number like that, and it will insert the number. So now we have 1 there, and this is the header. So if I go down to the next page you can see 2, 3, and so on. Now what happens if you want your document to start on a different page? Like perhaps you're combining several different documents and this document actually starts on page 37. You've got another document for pages 1 through 36. Well, in word processing mode you can do that by clicking Document to bring up the document sidebar here, and then Section. Now even if you're not using sections, you still are using sections. You just have one single section in your entire document. And in this case this section covers all pages. So for this one section here you've got things that deal with page numbering. You've got the format, and you can change that. You also have the numbering. Continue from the previous section, and since this is just one section it just starts at 1, or have it start at a specific number. So I can have this start at, say, page 37 like that. And you can see it's 37, 38, 39, and so on. But let's go ahead and create multiple sections. I'm going to click on View over here on the left, Page Thumbnails, and now you can see all the page thumbnails here. And there are two different ways to create a section. One is you can insert a section, and that will put a new section at the end. You could also select a specific spot in your text, like let's say right here at the beginning of this paragraph, and insert a section break. And that'll put a section break right there. It's like a page break, but it's also splitting the section, not just the page. So if I click here you can see it highlights the page and the section. If I click here it highlights that page and this section. So you can clearly see the two different sections. Now when I go to Document Section in the right sidebar I can continue from the previous section or start it at a new section number. So I'm going to say continue from the previous, and now you can see this was page 40, so the new section starts with page 41. Or I could say start at, and I can have it skip pages. So I can have it go say to page 47. So this is page 40, this is page 47. Now you do have the option here to hide the headers and footers on the first page of a section. So when I select that for this section here, notice this first page has no header and no footer as well. And the second page does. That's really handy if this section is going to start off with something like chapter 2 here, and this is going to be a heading, and you don't want to have page numbers on those beginning chapter pages. Now what if these two sections represent something different? Like this section here is all the front matter, and this section here is the beginning of the book. You want this to start at page 1. That's the real beginning of the book. So now we have page 1, page 2, etc. So what about this section? This section is currently starting on page 37, remember. Let's have that start at page 1 as well. Now we actually have two page 1s. We got this page 1, then 2, 3, 4, and then we start over again page 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go back here and also change the format. Use something like lowercase Roman numerals like that. And then you kind of have your front matter. You can even do more than that. Let me insert a section break before the beginning. So now I've got this section here with just one page, and then this section here is the beginning of the front matter. So with this section I want to have no headers I could go into the header and delete the page number. Just not have it there. But now when I go to this section, I want to turn off Match Previous Section so it starts its own thing. So this section here has nothing in the header or footer. You can make this, say, the title page. This section does not match the previous section, uses this type of formatting and starts at 1. Then we go down to this section. Again, Match Previous Section is turned off. We're using page numbering here, but the format is different. And then we have it start at 1 as well. We could even go in here, since we're not matching previous section, we can make this bold here. And notice how in this section it's not bold, in this section it is. The headers are not shared. Now what about facing pages? Well, if you go to Document and then Document here, then you have facing pages as a checkbox right there. Select that. And now you'll see the view here shows it like this. You also see the view here show you the pages side by side. You can click here and change that to a one-page layout if you still want to see one page at a time. Let's do that. Do one-page layout like that. Now nothing's really going to change with the facing pages, but if we go to Document Section, notice that we have some new options. We have left and right pages are different. So let's go here to the section that's the main part. That's just the regular numbered pages, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go here and let's remove the page number here and insert the page number there on the left. Now this is going to change it for the whole section. So the page on the right still has it there on the left. But if I say left and right pages are different, now it unlinks the left and right sides. So I can select a page on the right, get rid of this, add the page number there. And now the left side and add page number there. And now the left side shows it in the left header box and the right side shows it on the right header box. And we can see that that's true for the whole section. Now you can still do everything else that you want, like add new section breaks and such, and change the headers for each section. Now let's talk about page layout mode. So here I'm going to switch this blank document to page layout mode before I do anything else. It's really important when you're choosing page layout mode that you do it right at the beginning, because when you do it, it eliminates all the text in the body of the document. So you want to really start with a blank document, switch to page layout mode, and work from there. Now that you do this, things work differently. There are no sections. Each page is kind of like its own section. So I can go to View, Page Thumbnails. I see one there. I could add a page. And I could, let's add 4 pages here. And each page is its own section. If I choose Format and click on the background of the page, you can see Format Page. And I've got Show Headers and Footers and Match Previous Page and then Page Numbering as well. So in the header here, I can click there, insert a page number. And even though each page is its own section, this is going to apply to all pages. The reason it does is because the Match Previous page is on for each one of these. If I go to this one and say turn off Match Previous page, you can see it no longer does. It's a blank header. This one has it. This one no longer matches it, so it's blank, and each one after that is set to match the previous page. So I could do something different on each page if I want. I could have it in the center here. I could have it on the left here. On this one I can turn off Match Previous page and have it on the right here. Now you could just do this on a page by page basis if you have a small document like 4 pages like this. And note that you can start at any page number you want. So I could have this first page be page 1. This second page I could have be page 5. This third page I could say start at page 8 or 2. And I could just jump around to any page number I want using that. Now I've cleared out all of those headers there, and let's do something different. This is something you can only do with page layout mode. In page layout mode you have templates. If you go to View, Edit Page Templates, then you see the templates here. And you will only have this one blank template. Now this blank template under Format, Headers and Footers has Show Header and Footer and Match Previous Page. So you can set those as the defaults for this template. But you could also create your own text boxes here. Let's create one here. And I'm going to put a page number in it. I'm going to do that by clearing out the text box, going to Insert, and then Page Number. And let's make it a little bit bigger so we could see it like that. I'm going to move it to the upper left hand corner and shrink the text box down. I don't need it to be that big. Put it like that. And that's a template. Let's add another page template. Or let's call this Right. Or let's Control click on this one and rename it Left. So in the right one I'm going to take this and move it to the right here. And I'm going to right justify. So now I've got this page template and this page template. Let's create another page template. And I have to choose which one to start with. Let's just start with the left one. I'll name this one None. And then in here I'll get rid of the page number completely. There's nothing on this template. So I've got these like that. Now I'm going to click Done here. I'm done editing the page templates. Now each one of these is set to that first page template, the one called left. Let's instead change this to right. And you can see how it does that. I still have the page numbering set here because I've set a custom page before. I can set that to 2. And then let's go here to this one and let's set this one to left starting at 3. This one, let's go and set it to none. So it's actually not going to show a page number. So you can control exactly what happens. You still have the header here, but you can get rid of it if you want. You don't need to have it there. So page templates give you the ultimate control over exactly what appears in terms of page numbering throughout your document. Now note that to change the continue from previous page or start at page numbering settings, you have to have something that shows the page number in the header or footer. So notice here this is start at 2, but if I wanted to continue from the previous page I can't select that. I can fix that by going in here, inserting a page number. Now when I click on the page itself I can say continue from the previous page and I can just turn off the header and footer there to get rid of it. Or a better way is just to go in here and delete this and then that gets rid of it and all of the headers and footers throughout. So basically when you want to control the page numbering you add this in and now you've got that for all of the pages, and then once you square away your page numbering just go into any one of these and delete it and now it gets rid of it for all of the different pages. And you can just bring it back anytime you want to adjust the page numbering in your document again. So it's a little weird that you have to do that. It would be great if you could just alter the page numbering even if it's not being shown. But at least that's the way it works now. So I hope this gives you all the techniques you need to number the pages in your document any way that you want. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.